like,
It didn't come up on my feed.
okay, I think we are live.
Yes, we are, aren't we?
Yeah, I can't see myself, so.
I can see you. Hi.
Hey. Oh.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Well, just share, like, give some people time to join us.
Oh well.
Share with your friends. Let me see. I'm gonna just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna just share this live on my personal page for all my East Coast people whom I love.
The East Coast
and
fam.
cherish. I love my West Coast family too.
We love everyone.
Yes.
We are family.
I got all my sisters with me.
And my brothers and my cousins.
I was gonna do what was it? The 5 Heartbeats.
What's the 5 Heartbeats?
I got nothing but love for you, baby. Got nothing but love for you, baby.
Do you know?
I do. I do love you, Mom.
I love you too, Bookie Bye.
Alright, so I just shared this. Alright.
Alright.
Those. What has it? What? It's been what? 2 weeks?
It's been about 2 weeks. It's been a lot going on in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So it's been about 2 weeks since the last time we was on here.
Yeah. But be gracious because we haven't totally decided exactly.
Well, first we gotta welcome everybody first, because we haven't welcomed anyone.
Hello, yet. Facebook fam. It's Teresa and Naija bringing you the woo.
Whoop, whoop.
Women Empowering Wednesday. Yes. Your hump day treat.
The hump day treat.
I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that. Okay. I know we debated whether or not that sounded appropriate, but I think it's fine.
The hump day treat.
The hump day treat.
Okay. Well, he's got a trick or treat.
It depends on who you're tricking and treating.
No, I ain't tricking nobody.
Well,
or treating anybody.
Okay, just treating and treating.
Oh.
Well, see, I'm married, so I can treat and treat.
I'm good.
Ashonda and Lakonda.
Praise the Lord. I'm just so happy with me and the Lord. I'm just happy with me and the Lord. So that's what that is. So we're gonna you want to do the introduction? Well, we did say this is.
Yeah, I did say.
And it's happened.
And we're gonna keep that too. So hashtag WEW the woo, okay? That's what we're bringing you. The woo. Now we haven't determined like if we're gonna do this every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. Or one Wednesday a month.
Yeah, we haven't really decided. So we just really decided that we would just pop on. We would have did it last weekend, but we had. Well, we can't say guests because they were family.
Yeah,
but we had family, so we was hanging out with family last week, and then the week before that, there was something going on, like a little virus thing that was going on with a sister. And I'm quite sure y'all did not want no parts of that.
I didn't.
And
I would have been trapped up.
I wasn't sure who was gonna make it today because sister went to the dentist today,
and she was looking like a whole snaggletooth. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like a.
Yeah, I was. And I'm still feeling that kind of way because it's still very much numb, you know. So if they, you know, when the Bible said, you know, they slap your cheek, turn the other cheek, I probably wouldn't feel it right now in this cheek.
So they would just keep slapping it?
So I would just keep giving them this cheek because I couldn't, this cheek I will feel it. And I don't know about turning it. But
well, Ma, I think you sound a lot better than you were like 10 minutes ago because she was still like.
I was like, am I slobbering? Listen, let me tell you, I was trying to put my little lipstick on. I swear I was trying to make lipstick down here because I couldn't feel me putting it on. But
you look good now. You look good now.
Girl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So maybe instead of a hump day treat, maybe we just make it's like a pop up treat because we just be popping up. We
What's
don't know.
with these treats today? What's going on?
Oh, maybe I want a treat. Maybe I need some treats in my
Let me
life.
call your husband up and see. Tell him
He's
you want some treats.
sleeping. I might get me a treat tonight. All right.
Yes, let's move on from this right here.
Well, you started it. Okay. So.
Did I? You want to talk about hump day treats and woo woo?
All right. So we're gonna try not to be on here forever because I know we talk a lot, as you can see. This is the intro, and we already were how many minutes in, and we didn't say nothing empowering. So, but we are gonna empower you guys today.
Yes.
After we give you guys some updates. So, Mom, take it away. What's our first update?
All right. Well, our first update is that we have a grant writing workshop going on. It's going to be on May 22nd, right, at 1 p.m. West Coast time. So that is about, 4 o'clock East Coast?
Is it 1 p.m.?
It's 1 o'clock our time. It's 1 our time. And I believe that is 4 o'clock East Coast time. We doing a workshop with Stacy Bellavia, right? And you have to be there. It's about grant writing, and she's gonna give us some great details. So anybody that has a nonprofit or profit and business, and you want to learn about writing grants, or you just or you in the process of writing your own grants right now, and maybe you might be a little stuck, I would say tune into that. It's gonna be awesome. And Stacy is such a great person.
Yeah, she's like such a bundle of love.
Yeah, she's one of our Go members too. So
yeah, she just came back from vacation. She looked like she has such a good time. Like I wanted a vacation with
What's
her.
that?
Huh?
What's that?
She went to
a vacation. What's that? Because the sister don't know what that is.
I kind of took a vacation last week when family came in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I decided to take that week off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of regretting it just a little bit, just because I'm just backed up, so I don't like taking vacations.
Listen, most black people don't know how to vacation because a vacation is that. That's the day that I can go clean my house now. Clean out that refrigerator and that oven that I haven't gotten to because I'll be working so hard. So, normally a vacation or when we take days off because we're going on vacation, it's normally cleaning or catching up on things that we didn't.
Last year, I did have that issue. Like, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go on a nice little sabbatical. I'm on vacation, and I still end up here working. But this year, because the Lord told me this was going to be my year of distress. Not distress, but de-stressing. Okay. Naija wasn't stressing this year, and I haven't. The Lord has been blessing me with so much rest, and I've been vacationing for real this year. I feel full of life.
Oh, I wish he whispered that in my ear.
He told me I need to chill. Chill,
ear.
girl. And I haven't been sick not once this year.
She said, chill, girl.
He told me to chill. Take a chill pill.
What,
I mean, have me turn.
Look
here. I transcend times.
Okay.
I go back, forth, future, past.
You just all around. You just all around, aren't you?
Yeah, have me turning down all kinds of jobs. Let me tell you, the beginning of this year was rough. When God tells you to say no to things.
Now, is that 21 or 2020 are we talking about?
I'm talking about 2021.
Okay.
It was rough because...
I mean, we only in April. So
it was rough because, when God tells you to say no to things that you want to do and is putting you in a position where you have to, trust Him, fully, turning down jobs with money. And I'm like, Lord, are you sure? Is this just me? Is it just, I'm tired, so I'm just and He's like, no, turn it down. And I'm like, Jesus. But let me tell you, the Lord has provided for me in the past, and he's doing it now. I haven't wanted for one thing. Matter of fact, doing less work and have abundance. I have an overflow. I have more than enough.
Okay,
more than enough.
Isn't that a song, More Than Enough?
Yeah. So when the Lord says He's going to take care of you, look, it's just better to be obedient, because I was disobedient last year and I suffered for it. Learned my lesson. Learned my lesson. So, next update. So, one of our silver members, Miss Nicole Mayfield, I guess this is her birthday week, and she's doing a birthday fundraiser for her nonprofit.
Birthday to ya.
Her nonprofit, You Matters Too. So, what they do is they educate elementary and middle school students on bullying and youth suicides to prevent and eradicate bullying. Okay? So if you want to donate towards the youth to help them be a blessing to their community with positivity and love, and because they do like Good Deeds Day, and they go out and help the homeless and stuff, you know, good proactive stuff instead of being out here being wild. Go find Miss Nicole Mayfield on Facebook and donate to her birthday fundraiser for You Matters Too.
And didn't they just do something just this past Saturday?
Yeah, they just did a cook-off. It was so cute. Like, I had to leave before they started, actually cooking. I so wanted to try a plate.
Listen, I seen them pictures.
On live, it looks so delicious.
Yes, I was like, oh, I'm so hungry now. But
they teaching the kids how to cook and everything,
like
life skills.
A little bit of just chefs running around there.
They did. They were so adorable.
Those kids cooked up a meal.
Yeah, it wasn't like little bougie meals either.
They had a appetizer. Fancy. They had an entree. They did a whole full course meal.
And they was fancy with it too. Like they did this pasta with a little drizzle, and it looked just like a professional drizzle across the noodles. I'm like, how do you get your sausages placed on the noodles like that? But they did a wonderful job. They did.
If it wasn't a thing called child labor laws, I would hire them to cook for me.
Right. It looked delicious.
Well, I didn't taste it.
But it looked delicious. And the way that they were eating it in the videos, the judges, because they had grown-ups judging the plates because it was a competition and everything. And the way they looked like they were enjoying their plates. I mean, noodle slurping.
Yeah.
And this one girl, she was supposed to be giving them her judgment, but she was too busy eating. So that's when you know it's good.
Yes.
The proof is in the slurping of the noodles.
Yes, and the scraping of the plates.
Mm-hmm. And the you know. I'm just saying I wanted a plate.
I know, it's like we talk about food. What is that?
Because we love it. Okay? Amen. But we're going to feed you today.
Yes.
The word. Okay, so the next thing, Miss Deborah, one of our other gold members, is starting her Live with Deborah.
Yes.
She is an educator and an author of 2 books, coming on 3. I think her 3rd book will be releasing this summer. So check her out on, you can look her up on her book page on the Normal School, or she is ... bird alighting.
You know, Miss Deborah, she has a lot going on.
She does.
Like now her book is in schools, so
yeah,
it's part of the curriculum now.
She has come a long way this year.
Like yes, she really, really have. I remember when I first met her.
She getting her hustle on. You get it, Miss Deborah.
You gotta get you sound like Erykah Badu song.
All right, so you added one more thing.
Yeah, I did. You know, I just figured. But, you know, one of the things I wanted to talk about, women, whether you have your own business or you are a stay-at-home mom. me and our agent was having this discussion about how even the stay at home mom. See, I said, well, they're a stay at home mom. I think they're a CEO. So she was telling me, no, they're not a CEO. They're a COO.
I didn't say that they weren't. I mean, if she is a single mom and she is running her own home, she would be a CEO. Mm-hmm. But if she is married and she has a husband, mm-hmm. then she would be more like a COO.
So we were just saying how stay at home moms, how they make those boss moves, and like, cause I'm like, first of all, especially if you have kids, all right, you have to get them kids in order. That's one thing. So that's like leadership skills right there.
Yeah, I mean, because women are leaders. I mean, and even women who have spouses, though your husband is the head of the house, that does not mean that you're not a leader in your own right. I mean, when God made Eve, he made her a helpmate. Mm-hmm. And the term helpmate is the same word that he used to describe himself when he helps us. I mean, she was taken, and I think God deliberately made sure he took it from the rib. The rib, because the rib is on the side. She's your side, your partner, He didn't take it from a pinky toe, mm-hmm. and he didn't take it from a jawbone or anything like that. He took it straight from the side, She's not your side chick, but but she is by your side. And
well, she could be if that's your only chick.
Yeah, she's more like a sidekick, not side chick. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, because I ain't nobody's side chick.
But then sidekick is not all that great either.
Robin was a good sidekick, and he winds.
But it was still all about Batman at the end of the day. Okay, because the show is called what? Batman. And then Robin. So.
I guess. Anyway, what I am trying to say here. Now, one thing I did, studying on a rib. Well, if you think about it, God took a woman from the rib. And that is one of the most important part of the bone structure, mm-hmm. because the rib protects all the vital organs of the body. The heart, the lungs. Yeah. And if you break a rib, there's a good chance you could puncture a lung. Rip a liver, your diaphragm.
Well, the Lord knew what he was doing, so that was not going to happen.
So, I mean, this lets you know, you damage that rib. It could be very detrimental to the whole house function.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point. That women, you, as leaders of your household, you set the tone of your home.
That's true. Well, they always say, happy wife, happy life. So.
Angry wife gives you strife.
So
don't do it.
Well, you got to think about it, because they do set the tone of a house as well. Because, especially if she take care of the home, if she is married and she's the one that take care of the kids and cook and things like that, and if days are not right with her, it can throw off a lot of days, because when mommy's upset, then the kids are upset, so it does.
It is felt throughout the whole house.
And it really is.
I think it's because us as women, mm-hmm. we want everything. We want everything to feel it. If I'm mad, it is going to be an icing home.
and I believe that is so true. And it goes the same way, like when things are flowing good and working good, even when it comes down to being saved or a follower of Christ, even in that aspect, even if your husband is not going to church or not reading the word or praying like that, but just a woman that's faithful to the Lord and faithful and prays for her husband, still cover her husband, and everything else that will really, really change his heart as well.
You know what? I seen a scripture about that. Let me see. Let me find it. I think it was.
Again, this is not a church, but we are having discussion because it all falls in together.
Yeah, and I mean, all principles work.
All right.
It's a principle. So it was saying like, so 1 Peter 3:1-2. So it says, wives, in the same way, submit yourselves to your own husband, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wives, when they see the purity and the reverence of your life.
Look how God just used that.
Yeah.
Look at you. You was reading on that today, and He brought it to me. See, God is so good and faithful.
He does. He puts everything in sync like that.
He does.
So yeah, I mean, women, you can sanctify your house. You might be a believer and might have a spouse who is not a believer, but that don't mean that through your life, the way that you live your life, he can't be saved or delivered by seeing your change.
I do a lot of, like, in the morning before I start work, I watch a lot of YouTube with pastors and stuff like that, and they talk about that. They talk about how when you are praying and how your heart could change your husband's heart, kind of thing, so.
Yeah, because, what I find too, that a lot of women do, you might have started off with your spouse and you guys both were not saved, and then you got saved, and then because he's not saved, it's almost like you kind of give him a cold shoulder. Because,
about that too.
Because he's not saved, because, or he might be drinking and smoking and you're living a life, contrary or opposing of that. And so his sinful lifestyle may offend you and cause your heart to wax cold towards him, where you're really being unloving. Mm-hmm. And that is not of God.
No, and they talk about that too, because they talk about how, people, it's not just women, even with men, vice versa too, and how they'll pray and they'll be like, change him, Lord, change her, Lord, change that person, rather relationship or situations, period. And then, sometimes the Lord be like, no, I need to fix your heart, because when your heart is right, then their heart can get right.
Right. I mean, you're supposed to love people unconditionally. That means with,
even though sometimes it's hard. It's a fight, because it's a fight for me too, and he's working.
Because you gotta think too, when he married you, you were someone else. You changed, but just because you changed didn't mean that he wanted to change. And are you now, because you became someone else, are rejecting?
We're going to talk about this at another kingdom conversation. We need to get into that.
Rejecting who he is now because you are someone else. I mean, in a way, it can be a little self-righteous. Yeah. Where you are looking down on him now because you feel like you're in a higher or a better place.
Well, like I said, that could go for both parts. That could be for men and women too. But
we're talking to the ladies, so that's why I'm just,
my ladies. Oh, my ladies. All right.
Whether single or married.
Yeah. All right. And so we got So with that, we talked about the grant writing. We talked about Nicole's birthday and her fundraiser for that. We talked about Ms. Deborah and her live. And what's this?
Because we're in the topic.
Okay.
Come back to announcements.
No, I just was going to the thing because you told the people that we was not going to be up here forever. And now, Asia, you know when you get to talking.
I mean, that was my last point. That, woman said the atmosphere.
Anybody knows my daughter, they know. Once she gets to talking, she is a preacher. She is a teacher. And y'all gonna learn something today. You gonna learn something today. And it's gonna be more than a treat. What do you say? What do you call it?
A pop-up treat or a hump day treat?
A hump day treat.
A treat and treat. Treat and treat.
Right.
So, out of everything that we said, pretty much the nugget for today, you beautiful women,
yes,
is that you are leaders in your own right.
Yes.
That, whether you are running a household, you are delegating, you're delegating roles and responsibilities, with your children, you're managing children, you're managing the household, budgeting, saving, and, you can use those tools, even in the workplace or in your business. So just because, you might be working under someone does not mean that you're not a leader in your own right. Also, that you set the tone. You can set the tone for your household, and you can all set the tone for your marriage and set the tone for your job. I mean, everybody knows when you have like that one coworker who is always like mean and nasty.
No, everybody loves their coworkers. What are you talking about? And all the coworkers are wonderful. That's why they start.
I know that everyone has, at one point in time, had a coworker who, like, when they walk into the room, everyone feels it. They're just like, oh, here comes nagging Nancy. No offense to anybody named Nancy.
Also
I'm
in the
not
house,
saying that you're nagging. Or that, that person that always got something negative or always doing some kind of gossiping or something like that, and they can just set a tone or an atmosphere on the job that just makes the days seem long, so long. I mean, and it could be a manager or a supervisor, like, someone who is, just grumpy. They might be going through something in their personal life, and they might be rooted in some bitterness. They might be rooted in some other things, because people go through things in life or whatever. But it is felt. It is felt in the whole job. Like, that one person that's like not approachable. Like, but you know what? You can change the tone. You can change the atmosphere of that space. You can pray for that individual because, I mean, especially since, 2020, people are really going through things. People are going through some real hard things. And, we need to give people a break.
We do.
We can't hold everyone to the same standards that we have for ourselves. Because, they're not us. They're not us. And, sometimes we expect people to be the same way that we are. And God made us all originals. There's not another Naija out there. There's not another Teresa out there. And there's not another you. I mean, even twins, they might look alike, but their personalities tend to be totally opposite or different from one another because you have your own makeup. And so sometimes, people might not respond, act, behave in a way that you may deem proper, or you may, deem as good, good, whatever the case might be. But, I challenge you, this week, give people a break.
Give him a break, it's sure decent. Oh.
I thought you was gonna sing like the Kit Kat bar song.
Give me a piece of that Kit Kat bar now. I was singing Nell Harper's song. Give
That
me
might
a
be
break.
before my time, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Wow, we're
transcend time
sisters.
like
How you
that.
doing? Look, we're sisters.
We're sisters. Shout out to Pastor Keith, who continues to lie to my mom at church. Cause you know,
Oh, man,
Dagger,
lie. He would never lie. What are you talking about?
no, Dagger was yelling on my sister. I love you, Mom.
Black little crack baby.
Unless you're smoking.
Anyway, that's a whole nother kind of cracking. All right. All right. So,
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's the nugget for today. Women, set your atmosphere.
yes.
Okay. You are leaders. Lead your home. Delegate your home. Delegate your atmospheres at your work, at your house, in your marriages, because you set the tone, ladies. You set the tone. You can make it fine like wine, or crying in dark time.
She ran out of rhymes over there.
A crying dark time.
Yeah.
That
So
nobody wants to be around.
we just want to encourage women to just take care of your homes. Just know that you can change that atmosphere in your home, whether good or bad. The Word of God even said life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yes.
So you can always change the atmosphere of your own business. You can change the atmosphere on your job just by your personality, because of the simple fact, there's times like I was at this job, and you never know how your behavior and your attitude affects someone else. And I remember working at this job, and every morning I would just come in, I'd be like, and even when there's moments where I didn't feel like it, or I was tired, but I always spoke to everybody on the job, and I'd be like, hey, and my thing is, hey girl, what's up, or hey boo, that kind of thing. And that was always me on my jobs. And this one person, she was leaving and going, she was still working in the same field, but she was just going to another office, and she wrote me a note, and she said, Teresa, I just want to thank you because you were always so nice, and you was always so kind, and you always spoke to everybody when you came in. You always spoke, and you never know, who you really touch, and just by saying hi, or just being welcoming.
Yeah, you never know. You might be the highlight of someone's day. I know when I used to work at Lowe's in the lumber department, and sometimes in the lawn and garden department, and I used to just sit at my registers and sing praise and worship and stuff like that. And I was very involved with every customer that came in. I mean, I knew the names of their dogs, their children. I knew all their account information, so all they had to do was tell me what they wanted, and they knew I would have the ringed up, hand them the receipt, and they could go straight out the door, and they not have
account information, huh?
Yeah, they trusted me that much. See, they trusted me that much, and I know it brought me so much favor on that job. I mean, people would bless me all the time at that job, and it reminds me of the scripture. A kind-hearted woman gains honor, and because of the kindness that I showed, a lot of people, they did trust me on that level. They did trust me. They did not feel like I would ever dishonor them in that way. And so in the same likeness, kindness, being kind to people, being loving and caring, you might be that one thing that brightens up that person's day. Some people just look forward to coming in to see that one smiling face on their job, where they don't have peace at home. And so when they come to work, they that's where they find their peace. They find that one person that makes them smile and makes them feel like life is still worth living.
That's
and
true.
You can be that person.
And you don't know how you can just change somebody's life. Like, let me just tell you this quick story. I watched Stephen Fordrick, Pastor Stephen Fordrick of Racing Church. Woo woo. Love him too. And so years ago he gave a testimony about how he was asked to speak at a church and he couldn't make it to the church because his family was going on vacation. While he was on vacation, he ran into someone at one of the stores, and the lady was a member of the church, and was saying how, oh, you know how our pastor wanted you to come, but you was on vacation, and he was like, yeah, see, I am on vacation, so it wasn't a lie. So then she was like, well, if you ever, if you have a chance, come by, to see, come by, stop by, fellowship with us or whatever, come to the service. One of the pastors that he always wanted to hear preach was preaching, and he was going to make it to that service. But what happened was something came up, and that pastor could not make it. So they had, and he found out that the pastor was not going to be able to make it. So he struggled with going and calling them and seeing if he would fill in for the pastor, whatever. He told that story years ago. And then he brought it up again this past Sunday. He was telling the story again, but he added more to his story. Well, pretty much he was talk about testimonies and stuff too. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because like I said, you never know who you may touch. Just one, stepping out in faith, one, obeying God, and just being a loving, kind person. So anyway, you already know the beginning of the story. So anyway, he wound up going and filling in. First, he didn't want to go at first, but the Lord told him go to the church. He did. He preached. It was whatever. So his praise and worship leader, Chris Brown, he sent him to another church.
Chris Brown, I think about Chris Brown.
Every time he said, I think about Chris Brown, but not the same Chris Brown, different Chris Brown. So he sent his worship leader to another church. And make a long story short, he was telling Chris Brown, called him up, and he was like, you never believe it. And he was like, what? He was like, it's all good here. And he was like, you never, guess what? The lady that you ran into when you was on vacation, the one that invited you to come to the church that you wound up speaking at, her grandson is here, and he is their worship leader. Make another long story short, they wound up doing music together, and they got this beautiful song that I love, Jara. That's a song. So that happened in 2016 with him going to preach at this church, and I think 2018 was this is 21, so I think it was like 2018. Him and what's his name?
Chandler Moore?
Yeah, Chandler Moore. Chandler Moore. It was Chandler Moore's grandmother that invited him to come to the church and visit. And now they do music together. So that's why I said you never know about who life you may touch in the process. You never, and they always say that you have people connected to you. So just showing your light every day, whether saved or not saved, but just showing your light every day can change another life.
Talk about divine connections. And it sets you up sometimes for favor. I know, I remember seeing this video on, I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram or something like that, where this woman, she was a housekeeper. She was a housekeeper for this, what do they call it? Condos, those sweet places, those really big, large penthouses.
You talk about, oh yeah. Penthouse.
Yeah, so she was the maid. So she was the one that went around cleaning everybody's,
I seen that story on Facebook.
Apartments and stuff like that. And because she was so good at her job, not just good at her job, but she was so kind-hearted and so caring to everyone there. When the staff heard that she was going through a hard time, the owner
wanted to stay with her mother.
Cause she lost her home or something like that. Yeah. So she was staying with her daughter and her kids in a 1-bedroom apartment or something like that.
Hotel or something like that they were staying in.
Yeah, so it got back to the owners of the condos, and they gave her a whole penthouse suite to herself.
I seen that story. On Facebook
just because of that, and I know
she thought she was coming to clean it.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, it's so nice.
She was like, it's so nice, but it's already cleaned. It was and they gave her the keys and told her it was her penthouse, and they gave it to her rent free. She didn't
have to pay anything.
No,
just keep up with it, like he always does, kind of thing. And I remember going to like this like networking event, and a woman, she was like a grant writer, and one of her clients, she used to do like home care and stuff like that.
Home health care.
And it was a elderly man that she used to take care of and stuff like that. And then she had retired, but she always would check in, make sure he was doing okay and everything like that. And when he was passing away, he put her in his will.
I'm going back to home health care.
I can't with you. But it's because of her love and her kindness, and he wanted to bless her, and and he said, whatever organization she was helping, he wanted to plant the seed in that organization and everything before he died.
That's something almost happened like that with my sister. My sister did home health care for forever, and one of the clients that she had, she was passing, and she told my sister too, she didn't have the money anymore because her children kind of spent it up and did whatever they did with it. But she told my sister that too. She was like, if she had the money, she would have left all her money to my sister. That's just like just being good to people, even when people are not good to you.
Look, my husband's up there. Hey, babe.
Well, my sister's been up there, and you have not given my sister a shout out now. Why you didn't say hi, auntie?
I said, I didn't. Hey, auntie. I love you, auntie.
She talking about, hey, babe. Oh, babe. He must have got up here because of the simple for he heard about all the hump day treats he was giving away.
I'm trying to come home and treat. Oh.
All right, it's time to end this now.
Yeah, so, being kind to people can earn you favor. So remember, treats.
Oh, they treat that bad.
Oh, Lord, please. What those kind of treats?
The safe ones.
Not those kind of... Hey, I met my husband at work. I did. And, he was kind to me because, he used to have, 6 roommates. And they was all packed up in there. About 6 of them in, a 3-bedroom apartment. And, I guess they used to have, house parties or gatherings. And, so everybody was going to be going over to their place to party. And, of course, everyone knew that I was saved. And so when he invited me, there was this girl on the job who was she didn't want to party if I was going to be there because I was going to have everybody doing Bible study. That's what she said. And so he was like, I'd rather be there doing Bible study with her than watching you twerking on people like a chicken head. And so for me, seeing that, he defended me like that, and we weren't even dating, but he was just that kind of person who was very nice and very open, and there was a lot of people who did a lot of things on the job, and I seen that he was a person who had a lot of leadership skill. He wasn't like one of those people who just followed what everybody else was doing kind of thing. And, if he didn't feel like something was right or whatever, he was very straightforward about it. And I was like, he's so kind. And I said, he's going to be my man.
Oh, she got her beau ass.
And I spoke that thing. See, ladies, speak those things as though they were. And I found my soulmate that day.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. And his kindness on his job won my heart. It did.
Was it on hump day?
I don't know if it was a hump day. I don't know if it was a hump day. I wasn't thinking about humping him that day.
Thank the Lord.
Because we were married.
Please don't think about it right now either, please. kindly. I'm
All right.
different. All right. So we're just asking for everyone to share, like us on Facebook.
And please forgive us that we're just very transparent. At
Yeah,
least you
we-
know that you're not like talking to a bunch of zombies. I mean,
we're very open people. We will discuss anything that you want to discuss. You know, we're not all those religious. No, you know, people have whatever they do. I'm talking about me personally. I am open to hear and discuss anything and everything.
as you got to know, because I mean, I'm her daughter and I'm very open.
She is.
I'm very
You
open.
cannot tell by this.
But see, she
Yeah.
set the atmosphere for us to feel comfortable to be that sharing with her. She set the tone for
I
that.
did. I always tell my kids, even from when they were little, especially my girls. I have 3 daughters. My age is my oldest daughter. Then I have, and they all on my board. My age is my oldest. I have a daughter, Naja, and my daughter, Natea. And I have always told them, one, when they were little and they were starting a cycle, I always took them. I was like, where y'all want to go? Because I never want them to be misled on any information, because when I was a young lady and started my menstrual, the only thing my mother said to me was like, you know, you can get pregnant, right? That was it. That was the whole conversation about that. And I did not want my daughters to grow up that way. So I always told them, if there's anything, always come to me and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to tell it like it is. And even when that happened, we would go out. They would pick the whatever restaurant they wanted to go to, and we would go out to their favorite restaurant, and we would sit back and talk. And whatever they wanted to know about sex or anything, we would sit and talk about it. And
Yeah. And then she even like kind of opened it kind of sort of to like the neighborhood for the young girls and the young boys in the neighborhood. And we started doing like teen talk.
like little girls group, little boys group, because of the simple fact, I just didn't want them going out there and getting wrong information. Because you know, you got there to talk to your friends, and you got to think they're your friends, so their mentality and things are kind of like yours. So if you don't know, they truly don't know. So I went through a peer education group. And so I would bring them in, and so we would sit down, and things that they felt like they could not speak to their parents about, they would open up to talk to me about, which I was glad about that, because I didn't want nobody, no female or male, to be out here on the streets getting wrong information.
Yeah, and she actually became like the neighborhood mom dudes.
I did.
She did.
I did.
Yep, and all those kids would come in the house, eat up all the food in the house.
They
And
did.
she would be mad. She would be mad.
Not really
You did,
mad,
because you're
because-
like, I just know about that deep freezer here to buy food. Y'all gonna be hungry. Y'all keep asking
Some of
her.
these kids can eat, whether they females or male, they can eat. But anyway, we just would like for people to just keep the lines of communication open in your homes, females, ladies, women, girls. We just want you to set the atmosphere for your home, your business, your life, your family.
And for yourself.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can be down, but you can change your atmosphere.
Turn
You
that
can
frown upside down.
Turn that frown upside down and turn your life all the way around. Okay? Because sometimes, sometimes I have like, when I have, periods in my life, because I used to suffer with depression, like really, really bad. And one thing that would help me, first getting deliverance, and then when I feel like kind of low or overwhelmed, or there's things in my life that, are making me feel very heavy, sometimes I have to, talk to myself. Hey, you.
You do.
Look here, girl. And I'll literally talk to myself like that right in the mirror. Just be like, hey, you. Look here. I know what they did. I know what they said. But don't you give into that. I mean, I have to give myself a pep talk, just like if I would
that's
talk
funny
to
you said
anybody
that.
else.
I do that too, because even with certain situations, like we know we say, "I'll be happy, be lawful," and I know there are situations where someone will really work your nerve or really will hurt you, and you're just angry and mad. And I know even with me with certain situations, and I would tell the Lord, and I tell the Lord, I said, Lord, I know, but I want to be mad right now for this second. And eventually, I know I'm going to get over it because I know that's what I'm supposed to do. But right now, I want to be mad.
Right now.
And I want to hate them right now and be upset. But then,
be mad now, reconcile later.
Yeah. And then, after I talk to the Lord and we have our conversation and I tell him what I want to do and how I feel and how I want to do this, I always do it his way. But you have to talk to yourself. When you get, I remember years ago when we was in North Carolina, and I don't know if my kids know this, but I was like going through a little thing of depression. I lost my car, wasn't making money like I wanted to, make this move and everything else, and I went to the doctor's office. And I went there for my regular checkup, and I sat in that doctor office, and I cried, and that lady gave me some pills to take for depression. And I took them pills and threw them pills away because I was like, I know this is only temporarily, and I know that I have to bring myself out of it. And that's the case. You have to know to bring yourself out of it. You have to not add on to the depression. People start listening to sad songs and things like that and sad movies, which just make it. Yeah, right. So you have to change that to where you have to start listening to upbeat songs and listen to upbeat things and get around people that's speaking positive in your life, a positive period, to bring you out of that funk and get yourself up and going again.
Yeah, take it easy on yourself. Because I know, sometimes, I'll make a mistake or I messed up. And sometimes I can be very, very harsh on myself. Very, very, there's no greater standard that I put on anyone other than myself and the Lord. Because He said He can do it, so I'm going to hold you to your word. But, sometimes, I have to forgive myself. Hey, look, we messed up, okay? And this happened. Now what are we going to do now? Yeah. Because we can't stay here, girl. I mean, sometimes I have to really talk to myself like that.
You do.
So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to move forward in this?
Yeah, I was watching, I always give him a shout out every time I get on here. My boy Darius Daniels, Pastor Darius Daniels, Dr. Darius Daniels. And I was watching.
He has love for you, sir.
I do. Him and Pastor Stephen Fortrick. Those are my dudes right there. And so every morning I listen to Dr. Darius Daniels, and this morning I was listening to a thing called Are We There Yet? You catch on his YouTube channel. Subscribe to him. Give a shout out. And so anyway, his thing was talking about that. He's talking about how it said, the title is Are We There Yet? And the reason why it's that is because he talks about how we get into situations, whether it's hurt, regret, especially regret, and how we get stuck in that regret. And he talks about that and how to get yourself up out of that regret of things you did, because how the devil would like to hold you there so you can't accomplish the things that the Lord has for you or reach the goals that the Lord has for you. And so he speaks about how to get yourself up out of that and what you need to do to get yourself out of that mode of being stuck. Yeah.
So we have reached our hour mark. Probably a little bit past that. We're not gonna make this 2 hours like last time, okay? We're gonna be
an hour and a half last time.
I think it was 2 hours long.
Almost. But you get to talking and share with your family and your friends there on Facebook or anywhere else that they listen to. And apparently it's something that people need to hear. That's why the Lord got us here.
Yeah. And obviously we love you guys.
I know it's definitely for me because
she don't even like
nothing.
doing stuff like this.
No.
Like going live, I'm like, okay, Mom, are you ready? She's like, I'm as ready as I'm going to get. That's how she starts every time. But as soon as she gets up here and she knows that she's talking to you guys, she comes with it.
You know what? Because
she comes with the woo.
The woo woo.
That Woman Empowerment Wednesday.
I come with the Lord because it's God all the way around. And He will, you just make that first step and He'll do the rest. He really is. But you got to give the Lord something to work with. You can't. He is not going to go against no man's will. So if it's your will to stay in that funk, but you give Him something to work with, it's going to be on and popping and cracking.
All right. Now for real this time. We're done. Okay?
You don't want to mention the event we having?
Okay, yes. So we're having an event September the 18th. So be looking out for it. We'll be making posters.
Mm-hmm.
Posters. It's all right. It's that country in me. Okay?
Which you was born
Posters
in Jersey, but somehow this North Carolina stuff.
I was always country. I was even country then. I was literally walking around on the blacktop with bare feet. I was always country.
She sound like her aunt Lisa Scudder. Oh my God, my sister's the same way. I'm like, girl, you was born and raised in Jersey. Why you walk around like you from the country where you walk outside? She walk outside with no shoes on her feet. I can't do it. I hate to feel it.
That nice warm concrete from the sun.
Dust, rocks.
That's what soap and water was made for.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
That's why the Lord made slippers for us that don't like it.
But, like we said, lead your house, set your atmosphere,
set the tone.
Forgive yourself and get yourself out the rut, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay? It's never too late.
Never too late. Never too late.
It gets better. This is not the end. Okay?
No.
This is not the end. Good things is right around the corner.
And if y'all ever want to talk, even when we're not here, you can always inbox us on Facebook. You can always hit us up at Kingdom Women Enterprise 2019 at gmail.com. You can hit us up on YouTube. We just type in Kingdom Women Enterprise. We're going to pop up.
Yeah, or you can just go to our website and hit the contact.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Whole form for you.
Yes.
And we'll get right back to you. It goes straight to our phone. So it's not like...
And it don't even have to be just about business. If you just be like, you know what? I just want to talk to my sisters, Teresa and Naija, because they some cool sisters.
Yeah, we're going to love on you. We're going to
right.
pray for you. We might even invite you over for dinner and cook for you. We forever feeding somebody. We like food and we like feeding people.
She can cook.
That's usually how it goes.
We do like feeding people.
Yeah, we do. We just some feeding. We
Inviting,
stuff you
partying,
and
get together people. That's all about that hospitality that the Lord talks about that too in the word, hospitality.
Yeah, so we love you guys.
Hey, my face is loosening up. It's not as stiff as it was.
Well, I know it was getting better because you definitely didn't sound as bad as you did earlier.
Yeah, it's getting better. And
Yeah.
Sister hungry too, but I'm gonna wait till it all wake up.
So, for next Women Empowerment Wednesday, if you guys have a topic that you guys would like us to talk about,
And discuss.
just make a post and tag us in it with the hashtag WEW and at us. Say at Kingdom Women Enterprise hashtag woo.
Woo woo.
And name your topic and we will discuss it, okay?
Yes.
So, again, thank you for joining us here with Kingdom Women Enterprise.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm Naija.
I'm Teresa.
And we were just bringing you the woo. See you next time.
Bye. Thank you guys for joining
Your
us.
hump day treats.
She better go home.
See you
Bye,
guys.